So let's start with just editing a main text content block, which will constitute the majority of the website that we've built for you. So to edit these blocks, and this is pretty much the rule for the most part throughout the DNN environment, anytime you want to edit a content block, the pencil will be your guide to the world basically. Anytime you're going to want to make an edit, there will always be some kind of pencil icon that you can interact with to be able to edit. There are some small exceptions to that, which I will show you, but for the most part, if you're looking for how to edit something, it will be the little pencil icon. So if we click on the pencil here, you'll notice that there's two blocks that show up. There's the My Work section, which just says who's edited what in the history of this content block. And then there's the Edit Content block itself. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit Content. And this will pull up an editor. This is the official name for it, is a rich text editor. For the layman, this is basically Microsoft Word. All of the functions that you're familiar with in the Word environment, for the most part, exist here. You can highlight text, you can bold things, you can italicize items, underline them, strike through, subscript, superscript, all of that good stuff, all the basic formatting. You can do, you have your alignments, center alignment, left alignment, right alignment, and so on. But we will go into talk about that further in just a moment. There's some of the other features you have here available for you is ordered lists. If you want to have a ordered list, you can have an unordered list with bullets. You can transform all of your text into capital letters, reduce them to not capital letters, and so on. If you're also familiar with Word, they're in the web world, we call them horizontal rules. In the Word world, you would call them page breaks, but it's essentially the same thing. It will create a hard stop under a block of content, which will not allow any other content to float around it, such as a photo. The next thing we want to talk about is this box right here. So you'll notice that when I'm clicked on this main just body of text, this is called lorem ipsum. It's Latin, and no, those aren't all spelling mistakes. So when you click on this body of text, you can see that it just has a little p, and that stands for paragraph style, aka it's just a standard paragraph. And you can see I have a couple other items that I've populated this block with, and when we click on those, you can see that this block changes to headline 1, H1, H2, and H3. And basically what H1, H2, and H3 are is pre-programmed in headlines that we have done the hard work of specifying font size and font color and line width and line height and all of that good stuff for you. So each time you want to create a headline, you don't have to say, I want it to be this font and this size and I want to select this color. It's just already automated for you. So all you have to do if you want a new headline is to create a new space, type in your new headline, highlight the item, and then you can see that by default it thinks that you just want a regular paragraph. If you want a headline, just click on this box and you have the option of your headline 1, headline 2, and headline 3. So I can click heading 1 and you can see now that we've created a new heading here. And it's different for each of the sites that we build, so the first couple of times you might just kind of play it by eye and see what looks good in terms of like the size and the color. And you do have the option, if you still don't like the color, if you want a special option, once you've created the headline, you can manually select from this useful list of different colors that we've pre-programmed in, and it will change the color for you of that headline manually. And if you really want to get fancy, you can add a custom hex color code, although for the majority of our users, that's probably not something that you're ever really going to want to do. So the basics of word editing there I think is pretty straightforward for more users. If you have further questions, don't hesitate to contact us. But in terms of editing text, I think you get the gist of it. So one other recommendation that I suggest is when you're editing your website, if you use Firefox or Chrome, you'll notice that it has a built-in spell check with those two programs. Internet Explorer does not. We typically try to guide users away from using Internet Explorer, although you can if you choose to.